Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ruby and today's video is going to be tips on how to make New Year's resolutions and how to keep them. This time of year is always seen as a time of reflection. A lot of people like myself use it as a time to reflect on where they are now, where they were last year, what has changed, what hasn't, and I think for me over the past couple of years I've gotten really discouraged around this time of year because I start to think of all the goals that I made this time last year and what I haven't accomplished instead of what I have. And I think that New Year's resolutions can be really great if they are made properly and fulfilled. And I sat down and I really thought about why I haven't fulfilled my New Year's resolutions in the past and what I could have done differently. And I've come up with 5 key points to follow to make successful New Year's resolutions and to have a successful 2018. So the first one is kind of a no-brainer. It's to be realistic. I think a lot of people like myself make these goals that everybody has things that they want to achieve in their life. And I think what trap a lot of people fall into is making these big unrealistic goals that might take somebody 5 years to make and expect yourself to make it in a year. If you're making really crazy, unrealistic goals, all that's gonna do is set yourself up for disappointment at the end of the year and feel bad about yourself. So make sure that the goals you're making are actually achievable, but also are something that you need a little bit of a push. Number 2 is be specific. What I mean by this is if you're making a goal of, I wanna lose 10 pounds in 2018, yes, that is a very specific goal, but you also have to do your research and how you're gonna achieve that. So for me, I've worked with a nutritionist and a personal trainer, and I do a lot of research, and I know that for my body to achieve a weight loss goal, I have to go to the gym at least 4 days a week. Instead of saying, I wanna lose weight or I wanna lose 10 pounds, be specific in how you're gonna achieve that and make that your goal. So make it your goal of going to the gym 4 days a week, or make it your goal of, I want to save $5,000 instead of I want to get out of debt. Once you are specific about what you want, then it is a lot easier to actually figure out how you're going to get that. Number 3 is to focus on starts, not stops. So instead of thinking about all the things you want to stop doing in the new year, start thinking of what you actually want to start. For example, if your goal is to stop biting your nails, instead of thinking it as stop biting your nails, make it, I want to start growing my nails, and then start thinking of the ways that you can do that. It just switches your perspective from a negative to a positive. When you tell yourself that you can't do something, you just want to do it even more. So if your goal is to get healthier and you make a resolution of stop eating junk food, the whole time you're going to be thinking that you want to eat junk food, but that you can't. So instead of that, just think, okay, I want to start eating more vegetables. I want to start incorporating more color into my diet. That way you can look forward to all the things you can eat instead of thinking about all the things you can't. Number 4 is create milestones. This is really important because if your goal, for instance, is to save $5,000 by the end of the year, the whole year you're gonna start procrastinating because you're gonna think you have 365 days to achieve this, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be November and you have a month left. Instead of having this big blanket goal for the whole year, why don't you start thinking like, okay, so if my goal is to save $5,000 by the end of the year so you can travel in 2019, why don't you say, okay, so for the first 3 months, I want to focus on saving $1,500. And then when you get to that stage, then reevaluate and say, okay, how easy was it for me to save that money? Do I need to set the goal higher? What do I need to do to be able to achieve this goal by the end of the year? And just by having milestones will help you work towards something little every day instead of pushing it back for the whole year and procrastinating. And the last one is there is no failure. A lot of people, like myself, set these expectations of if you don't achieve this, it is a failure. There is no failure. What if you don't achieve this by the end of the year? You have a whole nother year and you have your whole lifetime to achieve this. So instead of thinking that you need to accomplish this, just focus on the goal, put your head down, don't think of it as big picture. And if you come to that stage and you haven't saved your $5,000 and you've only saved $3,500, that's still $3,500 that you've saved. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds and you've only lost 5, that's still 5 pounds that you've lost, and you should be proud of that. The only person that's judging you is yourself. Nobody else is focused on you. Be proud of yourself and what you're accomplishing, and then you won't get discouraged and want to give up. So those are my 5 pointers for you guys. I personally am excited going into the new year. I have 3 different resolutions / goals this year. Number 1 is for my health. As you know, I've had a really hard year health-wise this year, but instead of feeling bad about myself, I just think that I did the best I could given the circumstances, and going into 2018, I really do want to get back on track. I'm setting the goal of going 4 days a week, and then maybe in a couple months' time, I'll reevaluate and maybe I will be able to bump it up a bit more. Number 2 is to do with finances. 2 years ago, I had a really great year in terms of I was able to pay off all my debt, and then with everything that happened last year, I kind of went back on that. So I'm not gonna make the unrealistic expectation to pay off all my debt. I have 2 credit cards. I wanna pay off one of them. I'm gonna really sit down and get specific about that, of how much debt I have on that credit card, how much that'll mean putting away each month, and how fast that'll take me to pay it off. My 3rd resolution this year has to do with YouTube and you guys. I've made a lot of promises this year on how many videos I'm gonna make, and I've really felt discouraged because I think I've made unrealistic expectations. This was my first year really doing YouTube, and I don't think I realized how much work and time it takes to put in this, and it is really what I wanna do. And it is really important to me, and it is what makes me happy. So my goal this year is to really focus on YouTube. I have so many ideas and I get so excited about things, but life does get in the way. I think what would happen was I would make 3 videos in 1 week and then get really excited and release them, and then the next week I would make a video for Tuesday, and then all of a sudden Saturday would roll around and I wouldn't have a video, and I would start cramming and stressing, and then I would put out a video just for the sake of putting one out and not actually be completely happy or excited about the content that I was releasing. So I think what a more realistic goal is to do the rule of 4 that pretty much all of YouTubers do, and that is release 4 videos a month, so once a week. I'm also gonna plan things out a bit more. I think that 1 week, if I film 3 videos, instead of releasing them all within that 1 week, I'll space it out and have them scheduled so that I'll have 3 weeks worth of content. And in those 3 weeks, if I make more videos, then I can release them more for you guys. But I wanna make sure that every single week I'm releasing a video. It keeps me motivated, and it also keeps you guys wanting more and having some consistency. Those are my New Year's resolutions and my tips for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that it's helped you and motivated you a bit more. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell on the corner of the screen for notifications so you can constantly be notified when I have a new video. And I'll see you next time. Bye.